Good morning. Thank you all for being here. As we discussed, the agenda for the meeting today is to share with you some updates on our health insurance coverage. And I thought it was important for you to know about this because as department heads, I want you to be aware of some upcoming changes in our coverage. You know, if we just step back a bit, a standard that has always guided our company in decision making is making wise choices. And that's permeated a number of things, from the projects that we've undertaken to the people that we hire to the benefits that we provide. And it extends to the area of healthcare as well. Today, I don't think it's any surprise to any of you that we're faced with a very challenging environment where, as we examine our current healthcare situation, we are experiencing premium and cost increases at a double-digit rate every year. So that is very, very challenging for us. And the way our competitors are responding to this, at least our immediate competitors, is they are cutting employee the benefits, the coverage of healthcare benefits to employees. So we need to take a look at how do we want to deal with this challenging healthcare situation. So what we did to address this is we assigned a task force to analyze the current healthcare situation, and we gave them a mandate. We wanted them to recommend at the end of this a wise choice plan. And in our mind, a wise choice plan met certain criteria. One was the plan had to have a high quality of care, comprehensive in terms of its benefits, and providing competent care from physicians and clinics. Another criteria was cost effective, so it would help us efficiently and effectively manage our business. And another criteria was convenience, that there are a number of clinics and hospitals and physician groups that are geographically dispersed enough to meet the needs of our employees. So those were the three criteria that were part of this mandate. As a result, they came up with three options. And one option was just to stay as we have been in the past, stay with our current provider, Orion, keep the same coverage, keep the same premium and copay, just as we have this year. The second option is to switch plans to the other provider in the area, which is Gemini. The third option is to remain with the current provider, Orion, maintaining the same coverage, but fine-tuning the employee contributions in terms of the amount that they pay in premium and their copay. So what they did is they analyzed the strengths and weaknesses, and I've provided you a little packet that I'm going to be referring to, so feel free to look along as far as some of the findings of the task force. The first plan, if we just take a look at what they found from the strengths and weaknesses, if we stay with the current plan Orion, the same premium and copay, the bottom line is that employees have been very satisfied with the quality of care. So we'll maintain the same high quality of care. They're very satisfied with the convenience of the doctors and clinics and that type of thing. The downside is the cost effectiveness, as far as that being one of our criteria. From this year to next plan year, we will have a 12% increase in the cost. So it doesn't quite meet the filter of cost effectiveness. If we go with the second alternative, which is the other provider in our area, which is Gemini, the premium would be lower, so our cost would be lower. There's a more limited network of hospitals and clinics. The bottom line then is we may maintain the same quality of care. We don't really know because we're not as familiar with Gemini as Orion. We will save on cost, but the convenience factor, which is one of our criteria, is not as finely honed as we have it at this with our plan right now. The third option is to continue with Orion, but adjust the employee premium and copay. The bottom line is that because employees are familiar with this plan and we've had experience with Orion in the past, we would be able to maintain the same continuity of coverage with the providers, again, that they've rated highly. The convenience is there. That is important, and we will maintain that. The downside is that employee contributions will increase. And they will increase at a minimum of $1,200 a year. That is a minimum. And that is part premium that we will ask them to pay more, and also in terms of the copay, they will have a higher copay. So that's a minimum, and it depends on their family situation, if they're single or a family. Now, a slight offset to this is that we have negotiated with Orion to help provide some dental coverage, and they will provide some, and a partial reimbursement toward health club membership costs. But it will not by any means cover the minimum of $1,200. That at a minimum the cost will increase. So when this task force and then the executive team took a look at the strengths and weaknesses of the three options, we feel that the one that makes the most sense in light of our criteria is this last one, staying with Orion, making the adjustment in the premium. The bottom line impact, if we just kind of summarize the bottom line impact on employees, is that they'll maintain the same quality of care, maintain convenience that they've rated highly. They will have higher personal costs that will be partially offset with this dental, some dental coverage and some contribution toward their health club if they are a health club member. The bottom line impact for us is that it will indeed help us to hold the line on costs, which then will help us be more competitive. So that's a thumbnail sketch of what's coming down. I'd like to open this up to some discussion at this point if you have some questions after hearing it for the first time. Anything you'd like to entertain, whatever issues that you might have?
Yeah, Lori, I'm concerned. I don't think employees are going to be very happy about this. It doesn't seem to fit in with our tradition of quality benefits and wise choices.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I understand it completely. I assume that you're targeting the increased cost. I don't like to pay more, and I would imagine you don't, and I don't think people are going to be happy about paying more. What I am hopeful, though, is that when employees understand how we thought through the issue in terms of the criteria, our wise choices, the impact on us and the impact on the employee workforce, that they'll realize, given the options that we have available, that this is indeed the best option. And I do feel that it's very consistent, actually, with our tradition of making wise choices, because we're always looking at trade-offs, and choice is a trade-off. We're always looking at trade-offs and balancing what's good for the company. And in our case, it will be to help us in our competitive situation by holding down costs. And the other side of the balance is looking at what's good for employees. And we know that they appreciate the quality and the convenience of this healthcare plan.
I agree with Amanda. I don't think employees are going to react very well to this decision. So how do we prepare ourselves for these likely reactions?
That's a great point that you brought up, because chances are with a change such as this, it's very likely that there will be some stages and phases that employees will go through. I think when there is a change such as this, that people will go through, those stages that are similar to going through a grief process: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. And I think we need to be prepared for that.
How should we plan to inform our employees of this change?
Well, what we're thinking of right now is that HR will first hold a large group informational meeting. But we want to follow it up because we want to encourage questions, and we know they're going to be concerned.